I'm Kiara.
Hi, I'm Tanesha, and you're now entering to the Sister Chat. Welcome to our podcast, Main Event Mamas.
And we're back to give you our take on Backlash, which was yesterday. Because, forgive us. It takes us a little while to get us together again. But it was a night. A night was had, right?
It was.
So what'd you think?
To be honest, I watched the whole thing.
And well, that's impressive.
I didn't get up. The matches where I was actually impressed with them. I was okay. I was good. It definitely wasn't WrestleMania night 2.
No, it wasn't WrestleMania night 2. But I thought, it was good for the most part. There's some things I'm going to nitpick about, but
okay.
I thought it was good for the most part. I was awake the whole time, so kudos to that. I didn't have to pause.
See, I stayed, you were awake, and we...
Yes. Together, we did it well. I didn't stay awake for the press conference this time. But...
Okay, I forgot about the press conference, I ain't gonna lie. But
But let's talk, because we had a lot to say on our picks about who was going to win. And I think we got a good portion of them right, like this time.
Definitely, for sure. I know I got at least 4 right.
You got 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Yeah. I agreed with you a lot.
You did, which was surprising.
Yes, it was. I wanted Penta to win, so I think that was the only one I got wrong.
And I got wrong Becky.
Oh, that's right.
So technically we are tied.
Yep, we are tied. Nobody beat anyone this time. All right, so let's break down the matches, girl.
Let's go.
Tell me, this Intercontinental Championship with Dominic and Penta was incredible, right?
Absolutely. It was. I'm going to give Dominic his kudos because I know I had a lot to say a couple episodes where I was like, I don't know, this is kind of after he won the championship, but I'm very impressed with how he's breaking out as his own person, even though yes, he cheated. Which I knew he would, because they're trying to tap into like the Eddie Guerrero when he lies, cheats, and steals, and gets the girl and
like
does
my
all this
favorite
stuff.
Part.
I know, I'm not gonna lie. And then he'd be like, throw the chick. Anyway, we digress. We'll talk about Eddie at some other time. But yes, I have to say, I'm very impressed with Dominic. I'm very impressed with his moves. The fact that he even hit what was that? That was a DDT off of the ring, and then he did the Oblivion, and it was just like, you are now showing that you're not just Rey Mysterio's son and just hitting the 619. You can hit other things, or now you're just hitting the frog splash and things of that nature. Like, I was very impressed, and I guess I got to see a little bit more of Penta and like really seeing how he's really I'm going to say authentic, but like just seeing, it was good to see just that match. That match was great. Now, do I hate how it ended? Well, granted, I would still be able to win, right? My pick got won, but I'm so tired of Chad Gable and his little nonsense.
El Grande Americano.
Whatever. Okay, he is not no real luchador. Okay,
no. He's not.
Wait, is that the right term? I feel like I just said that wrong. I feel like I was talking about
the
right. Bulls and anyway.
That's a matador.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Luchador is correct. Luchador.
My bad. No disrespect. My bad. I'm in my head. Anyway. So yeah, either way, that match, I like that match. That match was a good match. If I had to rate it.
Okay, we're giving ratings. What is it?
I would say 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay.
See? Look at that. You were kind of scared. You're like, what are you about to say? See?
Yeah. See? We're not Meltzer. We're not going to be out here giving stars. But I agree. I thought it was fantastic. I love Dom, all his moves. Like, I think he's coming into his own in a way I don't think I saw previously. But he definitely is worthy of this Intercontinental Championship. He definitely went toe-to-toe with Penta. I'm glad you got to see more of why I love Penta, and I'm all about Cero Miedo. I mean, I love Penta and Rey Fenix, so I cannot wait till they put them together, because separately they're incredible. So when you put them together and they become, you know, God, I can't remember their name right now. The Lucha Brothers. That's it, Lucha Brothers.
Okay.
Then it's just gonna be even more elevated. I can't wait. I know, like, we talk about tag team division a lot and how SmackDown tends to have all the heat. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, I have thoughts about last SmackDown's match, and we'll get to that kind of in the speed round at the end. But so yeah, I absolutely loved this match. I thought it was great. I also hated the way it ended. I was not pleased to see El Grande Americano, because I kind of wanted Dom to end out on his own. Plus, Carlito, this is for you. There needs to be a sense of urgency when you're trying to save someone, right? Because he lightly jogged to the ring, just like Finn. We know it's only a matter of time there, you know?
Yeah.
Because,
yeah, for sure.
Mr. I need to go get the chair and take 7 seconds too long and make sure that the referee sees me. Yeah, it was a moment, but it was great. I thought that was an awesome way to kick off the night. I was super excited and just, I'm sorry, that didn't kick off the night, but
that didn't kick off the night. I was like, no, wait, we're just starting with that match first. I'm like, that's not right. What kicked off the match.
Sorry, it's not, but we are starting with that match first, because that's how we ended up this today.
Yeah.
Still a little sleepy. But yeah, no, I just thought it was great. So I 100% agree with you. Thought it was awesome. And that leads us to the match that actually kicked off the night, which was that Fatal 4-Way with Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, and Damian Priest. And that was a match. Okay? That was... I don't even know if I have enough accolades for how incredible that was. It was just... It was stunning. I just couldn't keep my eyes off the screen. I was like, what's happening? What's happening? What's going on? Like, between the Jacobs and the LA Knights and all the spots, and then Drew McIntyre and Priest going through that table. Lord, I think I held my breath, and I was like, don't do it. Really glad to know that they're both okay, because that scared the crap out of me as I was watching it. But it was packed, action-packed, back-to-back. I thought LA Knight held his own very well. And it just was great. I love Jacob Fatu. I don't know how many times I have to say this. He's just one of those characters that I can't help but fall in love with. His rough and toughness. I think he's headed for a babyface turn, especially with the way that it ended, right? Like, I know we like surprises, but I was there with the internet wrestling community on Twitter, also known as X. And we all had the same question of who the hell is Jeff Cobb? I thought it was another member of the bloodline that was coming.
That's what I initially thought too. When I saw the hair, I was like, okay, this is the other brother that's coming. I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, and he turned around and said, that is not the other brother.
Exactly. I was like, oh, that's Zilla. And I was like, oh, wait, no, I don't know who that is. Also, he's technically not Samoan. He's Hawaiian. Thank you to X people, my new friends, for explaining that to me, because I didn't know.
I thought they were the same.
No, they're not. Not at all. Samoa is on the island. Hawaii is what, the 50th state, something like that. They're not technically a state. It was a U.S. territory.
They're not Pacific Islander? No?
They are.
Right, Hawaii, right? Please don't
tell me what? That I have no idea.
Moana can't be a lie, because Moana's from Hawaii.
You're right. I have no idea. I guess that proves I have no clue. You could be right here. So anyone's welcome to chime in and explain
anybody can chime in, because I mean, now I got questions. Cause I'm like, sometimes people just be talking and you be like, oh wow, and then you be like, yeah, that makes sense, and you be like, and then I'm going,
I'm definitely gonna find out whether that's true.
That Moana was Polynesian and they from Hawaii. Now maybe not Samoan, but that doesn't mean that they're not still from Hawaii. Samoans can be anywhere. Just think about when
Samoans are from Samoa. It's an island.
Is it really?
Yes.
I'm gonna look this up. Because the reason why I say that is because, okay, we're gonna talk about The Rock. And then I'm gonna go wrap it up. But even in The Rock, right? Their family was from Hawaii. No?
But his heritage
is Samoan, and most Samoans are in Hawaii.
Okay, I'm not going to. I don't know. Honestly, it's an excellent question.
I do apologize if I'm very ignorant around this, because I didn't even know there was even an island of Samoa.
Yeah, you didn't know that, but I can't answer those questions. Like, I know I like to answer them with real, truthful, honest answers. I have no idea here.
This is the one time that you're stumped, huh? Because I'm stumped too.
Yes, you stumped me too.
It's all right. Let's go back to I don't know. Yeah.
Anyone's welcome in the comments. You can send us a message or an email and educate both of us, because I don't know the answer to that. I have no idea.
Samoan man. Babe, I love you. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, back to the U.S. Championship match. Let's stay focused.
So I'm staying focused. Okay.
So tell me what you thought about them.
I thought that match was amazing. I was all about it. I was happy that was the first match that kicked off. They had the energy. They had the stamina, because that match was brutal. Especially when I knew it was going to get real once Drew almost won. And Damian was like, nah, I'm joking. And he just looked at him like, well.
I guess he didn't have time to tweet this time.
He did not have time to tweet. Well, you know what? He could have took a perfect opportunity when he was on that table, but I guess he had nobody to hand him the phone. So, and I think he was kind of held up, because, I mean, definitely how they hit. It was one of those like, did you hit your head? Wait,
he looked like
did both of y'all hit your heads? Like, I saw your body kind of like, but it seemed like both of y'all wasn't supposed to land how y'all landed. I think y'all did not practice that all the way through. I think y'all just said we're going to do it, and maybe we won't do it depending on what we're doing. But definitely once they were down, I was like, yeah, they're done. They're not coming back to this match. It's over. It's a wrap. Neither one of them are winning. That's over.
That was clear.
That was very clear. But Jacob was doing his thing. He did not need help.
Nope.
And I felt like Solo, if you watched, and I'll talk about it quickly, but his promo on SmackDown was like, we gotta find somebody. We got 4 people. And Jacob was like, I keep hearing we. It's not a we. I have a plan. I already know what I'm about to do. Like, I'm paraphrasing, because, I don't remember everything he said. But you knew by his facial expression, he was like, if you don't stop saying we, because we did not win this championship. I won this championship. And it ain't we going against these 4 people. It's me going against these 4 people. Neither have I asked you for help, wanted your help, or any of the above. I got this.
I mean, Solo wasn't in the match, but it felt like he kept inserting himself.
He did. And then when he kind of came, and it was like, Solo, what the hell are you doing? Then it was like, and then when Cobb came out, it was like, and then you watching Jacob going, wait a minute. Who are you? He was doing the same, like, who are you and why are you here? I didn't ask you to be here. And then he kept looking like, do I really want to win like this? Then it's like, well, technically, this match is already a non-disqualification match. So it doesn't really matter. So I guess I'll take it. But like when he left him and kept walking, he was like, and even I did catch a glimpse of the press conference on that. And he was like, they was like, how do you feel? He goes, did you not see my face? I feel you, brother. I feel you. Now, I'm not going to lie. He's a very handsome Samoa. I will.
He is very handsome.
I love his saying, all gas, no brakes.
Yes. I will be getting that. That will be a sweatshirt that you will see soon, because I love that saying.
I love that. I definitely want that too as well. But I definitely see him breaking away from Solo, and it's something that needs to happen. It's something that we talked about a while ago before he even won the championship, that I think that time is kind of over. And I feel like they need to figure out what they're going to do with Solo, because Solo don't know what to do now that he don't have the bloodline. Now he don't even have his bloodline. And it's like he's trying to pull on grabs and trying to hang on to Solo. And Solo's like, nigga, get your own. Like,
right?
Like, I don't need you. Yes, I'm grateful, but I don't need you. Like, we still family, but find something for you to do, my nigga. That's how it felt like when he was looking at him.
You're right. But I thought the same thing. I was like, why Solo is not looking at his own opportunities? Like he riding Jacob's coattails right now, which Jacob doesn't seem too pleased by. Not just on the press conference, but a lot recently on SmackDown, we've seen that kind of dynamic where he's tired. He's getting tired of Solo. So I wonder if bringing in Jeff is a way to up the ante a little bit on Jacob, because I think Solo is a little scared of Jacob and what he brings to the table. And so, assuming what we're going to learn about Jeff, and please, I don't know about this name. That's another thing. Jeff sounds like a substitute teacher. I just was not. I was like, that's not terrifying. So I'm really hoping that they're going to change that name in some way, or give him a nickname or something. I think Biggie mentioned something like that on the post show where he says Jacob Cobb. I guess that's what we're calling him now. So I was like, okay, what is he really called? So I'm hoping it's leading to something else, and that we get a name worthy of the monster that they just brought in. But ultimately, I think that something's coming, something's brewing between Solo and Jacob, period. But also, I think we need to think about the stable. We said it a while ago that it's not really a bloodline, so what could it be called? I think it's time for some new names and some new energy around it. Also, is Solo really a leader? Have we even
not really? I think he was.
Little?
He's not really. I think he was just able to create him being a leader because Roman was gone and it was already an established thing.
Yeah, he capitalized.
But clearly, we can clearly see he's not a leader because everyone who was following is like, all right, see you later. Even though granted, two are injured, but even then, that still wasn't I don't feel like they were going to follow him like that either. I think Jacob was the glue. And I think once Jacob said, I could do this without y'all, I think that's where certain things started to shake up. And that's why, because even like when it was right before WrestleMania, Solo had not Timmy Tonga, Jesus Christ, Tonga. And Tonga got taken out, but they were trying to figure out and trying to still ride on Jacob. Jacob was like, y'all need to back up. So I think definitely for sure they need to come up with something different that's just for Solo. And if he is going to have this family, then it shouldn't be called the Bloodline, because they're not the Bloodline. They're not the new Bloodline. Bloodline is gone. We don't have a Bloodline right now. Right now, our tribal chief is gone too, which means he's not going to be our tribal chief, because he's going to have to figure out who he is now, because now he does not have a tribe to lead.
I can suspect he should be on his way back though, because SummerSlam is his thing, and that's coming up. So I don't think that he'll be gone as long as he was previously.
Yeah, but still, I think for him, he doesn't have a bloodline anymore. It's not a true bloodline. I mean, granted, if just like the Shield, right? They didn't really have the Shield no more. Yes, you may have had Dean and or John and Roman together at one point, or you may have had Seth and Roman together at one point, or Seth and John together at one point, but then they had to come collectively together as to become the Shield again and say they were going to be the Shield. So I think even if that does happen, I do see where Jimmy and Jay may help Roman here or there, or Sammy may help Roman here or there, but they will never truly be bloodline again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you can't really recreate that magic. So I get it. And I think sometimes when you try to recreate it is when it goes wrong, right? So, yeah, I think it's just time for them to come up with a new one. So, time to move on to the only women's match on this TLE, which I'm still salty about, but just point out there. Except that this was 19 minutes of absolute fun between Lyra, Valkyria, and Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. It was a blast to watch. And I wasn't totally sold on Lyra. I did see her work in NXT. I saw how she faced Becky and won that championship from her down there. And I wasn't totally sold on it, but
how do you
she's
feel now?
really come into her own. I really feel like I was down for that entire match. I'm like, all right, I see you. And I even love the way it ended where Becky became a little bit more unhinged. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Bring a little bit drama, a little bit of energy. It just was good. I mean, again, that was one of the ones I would rate as one of my favorites too. This PLE had a lot of awesome matches, and that one really stood out for me. Plus, it was a 19 whole minutes of greatness.
Yeah.
In that ring.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't count how long it was, but I do know that it was a really good match from the beginning into the end. And Becky definitely brought it, and so did Lyra. She definitely brought it too. It was definitely a blow for blow, a match for match. Like I felt like that was actually evenly matched pair. And even seeing when Lyra was going for real hits, it was like, oh no, I'm gonna hit you for real this time. And you was like, oh, I was like, oh, she actually hit you. I was like, well, you did start talking to fiance. I mean, you kind of was trying to light the fire underneath her because you felt like maybe she wasn't being pushed enough. And it was like, how dare you? Okay, I'm gonna show you. Let me show you. Let me turn this up a notch. And definitely, I kind of saw where Becky was about to win. I was like, yeah, she about to win. And I was like, of course, in my head, I'm going, yeah, I'm about to be right. Yay! But it still was like, okay, here we go. Here's the Becky where she's playing dirty. This is not where she's like in the middle of like, I'm kind of healed, but I'm not healed, but I'm kind of like, like I'm in the middle. Like I don't, I'm playing both fences right now. Like I'm still trying to be y'all like, hey, it's me, I'm the man. But I'm also like, I'm frustrated. And I definitely felt like towards the end, yes, once she lost, I mean, granted, now how that girl beat her and still kept touching her nose, like, I think my nose, hold on, let me win. But I'm like, I think my nose, something's wrong with my nose. You might be sending
out more prayers for Lila's nose.
Yes, because I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I think something happened, because she just was like, that, you hit me not in a nice way. That wasn't how you were supposed to hit me. I don't think that was real.
It got physical, which
it definitely did get physical. It got physical. It got real competitive, real fast. Right. And Becky did let her frustrations of her losing get the best of her. That's what I'm gonna say. I think she realized she was trying to pull out all the stops to try to win, and she still lost.
That's right. She did.
And that's where I think that's where she's like, you know how like when a kid's having a tantrum and they're just like, you're not hearing me, or even like if you're arguing with your partner and you're like, you're still not hearing me, you're like, that's what I felt like that she was doing. She's like, and I still lost after I just broke your nose. What is this? That's how I felt while watching it.
No, I think that's right. I think you're absolutely right. I will say, I was like, she's frustrated. You can see it a quarter way through, just the frustration, the irritation. Like, why is this not going down? Thank you, by the way, for introducing us to Lyra's fiance, because I definitely did a whole Google search. And this man is a really great wrestler around the world. I don't know if they're trying to court him, see if he want to hang out in the WWE universe, but thank you for introducing us to him, because go ahead, girl. Y'all are both powerhouses, and it's good to see it. Good to see it. But overall, that match was incredible. I almost could say like run it back, except the only thing that I think from this beyond another female match was I really was hoping Bayley would be back to like get her revenge. I kept looking and hoping she might roll up there to get her revenge.
I think she will when the time is right. I think if their match wasn't as powerful, then maybe. But their match was too powerful, and I think if Bayley popped out, it wouldn't have made sense.
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, I'm not saying, when I say makes sense, I'm talking about as in it wouldn't, the timing would be wrong. There we go. I think the timing would have been wrong because they were really going in at each other. And I feel like if Becky came out, it would have put more of a distraction, and Becky already was getting frustrated. because she wasn't being able to get what she needed, even though she was pushing her, but she was trying to get on top. And I think if Bayley had came out, I don't know. I don't think that would have been a good business decision.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you. All right. So let's talk the match that I was least excited about and felt some kind of way about.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Gunther versus Pat McAfee.
Okay.
So here, okay, I'll say it.
Okay.
I was not excited for this in any way, shape, or form. I mean, we basically prayed over Pat, the last episode because, we love us some Pat. Gunther and Pat McAfee, I will say, I didn't expect much of it. Okay. I have thoughts and feelings about how long it was. I definitely think it could have been shorter, but it did what it had to do, I guess, right? Like Pat tried really hard, even when he tripped over that rope. He tried, and it really gave you a sense of the everyday man trying to fight back. Not, and knowing that he's an athlete, he's been in the ring before, but it's been a while, right? And he definitely, I saw, earned Gunther's respect. All that said, it was too long. It was too long. I appreciated Michael Cole, but would have loved if I just needed it to be shortened by a few more minutes. It just felt like it dragged for a little while, especially when Michael Cole was yelling at the desk and he gets up to the ring and then Gunther pulls him into the ring. It dragged a little. I appreciate the announcers versus the wrestlers vibe, but it just was a little too long. I think it was a little shorter. I would have appreciated it a little bit more. Or if Wade Barrett had got involved, I might have liked that a little bit more because then it would have felt like all the announcers against Gunther. Whereas we know Wade was like, just kidding. I'm going to be over here minding my business. And so, like I said on X, there's being somebody's ride or die, and there's being, courting a death wish. And I feel like Michael Cole has stepped into that yet again. And then was upset that he could get got because what were you doing? So that's my analysis of that one. It was good for what it was. It definitely wasn't my favorite match. I ain't gonna play it back.
I think that match was actually kind of good for it being Pat, and he really did not back down. Yes, he did trip over, and Michael's commentary was the most funniest thing ever. Also watching Michael stand up, and he was like a mom, like, oh my god, what you doing? No, wait, no, can't watch it. Wait, no. Okay, I see my son's being beat up. Can you stop now? It's over. Oh my god, yeah, Pat, get him. I was like, that's what I felt like. I felt like it was like just watching your kid playing the game. You're like, yeah,
you smack him. Don't do it.
But when you start talking about the ride or die, no, they ride or die for each other. And yes, I think at the end of it, he definitely did earn Gunther's respect. However, I'm still yes, I guess it was too long. But I knew why it was too long. Because you have somebody who is trying to prove a point. And he picked the weakest link, which I don't think was the greatest. But he was just trying to prove a point. And the more you kept yelling at him that he needs to stop, he was like, I don't want to. I'm going to keep toying with him. Because I could. I know I could end this. I know I could stop this. But why? For what? And then Pat would think I got a chance. And actually one time he was rallying. I was like, yeah, Pat. I was standing up there. I was like, yeah, get him. I was like, prove me wrong. God, man, just do it. And then I went, I was like,
yeah, I'm sorry, Pat.
That was a wrap. That was over. And I knew he was going to try to choke him out. I knew it wasn't going to be an easy 1, 2, 3 or whatever. He wanted to prove a point. And the fact that Pat stood up after being choked out also, I felt like says a lot. I get why Michael was in there. But I knew Wade wasn't going to, because isn't Wade out because, like, of some injury or something like that, so maybe he can't wrestle. I don't know. But that would have been cool if he actually interfered, because I was like, yeah, Wade, show him what you used to do.
I mean, he didn't have to get in the ring. You know what I mean?
Oh, like,
but I get it.
Like to get him distracted?
Yeah. He could have been yelling at him from the outside, but I guess then it left us audience out here looking crazy. So maybe so. I don't know. I just didn't, that was my take. I appreciate yours. I definitely think the chops were something. The chops were something. And every time he hit Pat, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, oh, I felt every hit with him. And I do think if that was the point to get us invested, to make us feel for Pat because we already like him, mission accomplished. But I still think it could have done with a few less minutes to me, it slowed down the pace a little bit as we were getting towards the big, match of the night. It slowed it down a little bit, especially coming off from the matches before it. It was like,
well, maybe they needed to too. Maybe they need more time. Maybe something was happening in the back and they need to make sure things were together. I don't know.
Do you know what could have given it a little bit more time if needed?
What?
If they had added another women's match.
That's true. That's true.
I wouldn't have wanted it to take away from Lyra or Becky by any means.
No,
but
definitely.
I think you could have had another one. Especially with this Jade, Nia, Tiffany, Naomi situation. That would have been a great opportunity to put them together. Another fatal 4-way. Maybe that's what's coming for Saturday Night Main Event, though. I mean, I don't know. When sometimes I feel like when they have a lot of these events on top of each other, it's hard, right? Because Triple H tends to have maybe 5 matches on these kind of shorter PLEs. And so not everything's going to make the cut. But if you were to plan out, like, if this was a Vince McMahon situation, it'd be like 8 matches.
That's true.
So maybe he's cutting it in half and he's seeing what he can do, because we do know Saturday Night Main Event is going to have Jay and Logan Paul. That match. And another title match that I don't remember right now. Oh, well, it could be, seeing what we saw with that final match with John Cena and the press conference. Maybe that'll be the second
maybe
one.
R-Truth, because now his hero is no longer his hero. Well, knowing R-Truth, he'll still fight. You know what?
We can just move on to the match now. We're already here. So let's talk about the final one of the night. Now, this match, okay, I will preface this by saying I was never a big John Cena fan. So I didn't watch a ton of his work previously, because that was when I took a little hiatus from WWE. Because that whole Ruthless Aggression era, I just couldn't stand John Cena. I don't even know. I really didn't like John Cena at all. Anyway, in any shape or form. Especially because he was rapping. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So maybe thugonomics. Maybe maybe it went over my head a little bit because I didn't see a ton of Cena and Orton matches in the past. It was good-ish. The ending really burned my biscuits. Okay. Maybe because I was
biscuits.
It did.
That's a new
because
one.
I was
biscuits. Okay.
I was rooting so heavily for Randy that I was emotionally bereft.
Okay.
Okay. I was like, everybody can get it. And I understand why everybody could get it. But I at home was like, y'all got an unlimited supply of referees. Okay? This is the last event of the night. You could have sent out 20 for as far as I cared. Like, you could have sent out way more. And instead of the officials coming out, it was just shenanigans afoot. And we knew John Cena was going to keep the title. We both agreed.
Yes, we did. We did.
But could there have been a better way to do that?
I would say yes, because I definitely predicted the last 10 to 5 minutes of that match. I literally was watching it. I'm not going to listen. I did watch a little bit of that era, and their match, there was history there, right? And they are good competitors together. So I was entertained by that match. However, when I could start calling the match in the last 5 to 10 minutes of it, that is a problem. I literally sat here and was like, well, first off, I didn't see when the ref was I didn't think the ref was going to get knocked out into into the staircase. That I didn't see. But then as it started going, I was like, okay. The other ref comes in. Here they come, running. And then they're going to slide in. There's 1, 2, up. Sorry, he kicked out. You're like, you could have started counting before you slide in, like 1, 2.
Apparently not. Maybe that's in a ref rule book that we
you can't halfway make it in and start counting, because I mean technically, do you need to be in the ring to count? Because as long as the shoulders are down, what does it matter? But
they're gonna be talking mad junk about us.
That's all right. It's okay. But then 2, right? So now that happened. Now he's like, it's 2. It's 2. Randy's like, oh my God, it's so crazy. Here, John, like, I'm about to hit you with the belt. And I was like, he about to hit the ref because Randy's gonna move. Boom, hit the ref. Like, I called it already. I was like, this is about to become craziness because now Randy's gonna start hitting you with some stuff. He gonna win. We gonna count forever. And no ref is gonna show up. What happened? We counted up to 20. Here comes the officials, and you're like, what are y'all coming down here for? What is wrong with you? And then he's like, yo, I understood your frustration, Randy, because it's like, I won this match. Instead of sending me another ref while we were counting to 20, y'all all asses come down here. What the hell? Yeah, all of y'all can get RKO. Now, granted, you know, I hate a setup. So me watching them setting themselves up to get the RKO, I was like, and then how they sold it, I was like, y'all are overselling it. He didn't hit you that hard. Like, get out the ring. Everybody get out the ring.
Many of them are former wrestlers, and this is their moment. You know,
I know they got like, oh, I'm in here. We're gonna get our RKO, and it's like, whatever. So then, of course, I'm calling like, okay, everybody got RKO, and then I'm like, well, watch, he's about to hit him, and then he hits him. I was like, and look, all of a sudden, the ref who had amnesia, who was in a concussion, gonna come.
He was in a coma. He didn't have amnesia. He was in a coma.
Whatever. He was gonna start crawling and be like, oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, sir, where were you when he was counting to 20? All of a sudden, now you're awake. Oh, I'm here. Yeah. Now, granted, I did not predict R-Truth coming out to the ring. That I did not predict. And the fact that Randy just looked at him, he was like, yo, why? Like, I didn't even want to RKO you. Why are you here?
Yeah. It was weird.
It was like, why?
It was extra. It was the one extra thing I don't think I could predict, but I also was just question mark. But it makes sense now in retrospect, knowing what happens in the press conference. But during the match, I was just confuzzled.
We were always bewildered.
I was like, I'm gonna understand this. But again, I think maybe we're supposed to feel this way. Maybe we're supposed to feel a little cheated and a little irritated. But I didn't like it. It just didn't leave a great taste in my mouth, considering how good the rest of the PLE was. Yeah. And I was like, but that kind of felt the same way about like WrestleMania night too, right? So I guess this is just another way for us to be in our feelings and continuing to watch the product to be further in our feelings.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't think R-Truth deserved a table.
I mean, he told him don't say one more thing. And R-Truth just had to.
Because he's trying. Because, I mean, I get it. I guess for me, I'm like, but wait, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you. I'm trying to just tell you, I don't believe what these people are saying. Like, you should hear. And it was like, because you can see John trying to stay in character. Because you knew John was like, and he's like, I gotta be in character. I'm gonna be this mean person. Say one more word. And he's like, and R-Truth was like, I already know I broke your character. Like, come on. And it was like, oh. And then he got up and he just walked away. And it was like, all right, John. Right? Get it. You're mean. Oh my God, you're just mean.
It was I will say that was a fun way to end that press conference, even though, again, I saw it in clips the next day, obviously. I mean, today is when I saw it. But it was a fun way to end the press conference because I have a slight issue here. Okay. This new post-show format, I hate it. I hate it. I liked it better when the event ended and then we went to the press conference, right? I don't necessarily love listening to people talk over and over again, saying the same things. What's next for you? Stop asking them questions like that because they don't know. And they'll tell you they don't know. And you get to hear that 3 more times. Now, Dominic was funny because, I'm the best Intercontinental Champion forever. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 month, 2 weeks. I mean, it's all the same with them.
And then they're like, well, did Liv call? He's like, well, yeah, I talked to her. Like, why are you asking me about Liv? Like, what's going? Well, he's like, she's busy. Like, yeah. She knows I won. She was like, good job. They was like, oh, we're just trying to. I'm like, girl, that's the most stupidest question. First off, why are you asking stupidity? We already know.
Exactly.
Their gimmick. Why are we asking the stupidity of the question of, well, what is your girl? How about I ask them, what do your wife think? Your wife say opinion?
No. We're not gonna ask that at all.
Or maybe not ask about nothing. That's unrelated. Or maybe say, how does Liv feel that you actually hit the oblivion? Now that was a good question.
That's a good question.
But not what did she talk to you?
Or even how did you feel incorporating the oblivion?
Right? Like those are good questions. But asking me if I talk to her, that's a stupid question.
I agree. Because I just got here. What do you mean did I talk? Like, even if I was in a real relationship, hold that thought, my guy. Because just got here. So I don't love this current post-show format. I just don't. Especially because it feels too much like the pre-show format. Mm-hmm. It's like they said copy and paste and then add the press conference on. And I personally enjoy it. The press conference is usually my favorite part. But now it feels like you have some people who come to the press conference and some who don't. And then I'm like, why am I here for another 2 hours or hour and a half after this? Which is why I was like, I skipped it this time because I could catch the clips because I want to ignore all the additional commentary that I didn't ask for or the dumb questions that I don't care about. So I'm just saying, can we rethink what this post-show situation is moving forward? Because either make it short and get us directly to the press conference, or just do without it. We don't need it. We don't need the additional blah blah blah. Because remember, even think about WrestleMania when Cody lost, and then they follow Cody out to the bus as Cody is going there with Brandy. Can I speak with you? Can I talk to you? No, I don't want to talk to you. So we had a whole segment of him walking away.
And them telling us how he felt.
Which was the most annoying thing in the world.
How do you know how he feels? Are you reflecting on what you would feel in this moment? Because that's the only thing that makes sense. Because he didn't talk to you. He walked away. Then they're like, well, you're personal friends with him. So how do you think he feels? Well, I just think he feels. Duh, we all know what he feels. He feels embarrassed. He feels like he don't know what's next. He doesn't understand. Like,
we could all hypothesize
what he feels.
Exactly. I just don't feel like that is useful to me. If we're not going to hear directly from the wrestlers, then I'm good. Again, the press conference often is like the most fun. I remember watching like Triple H a couple press conferences ago, like make sure like some of the women reporters got opportunities, and Cody even doing the same thing. Watching them interact with the press, I felt like was more fun for me to watch than to see Kathy Kelly or any of these Jackie Redmond talking about what they think that somebody should feel. So
sometimes that's us women. We have to deflect. Anyway.
Yes, and sometimes we have to make it up as we go. Because sometimes that you don't got nothing. So you're like, oh, since we're here, let me give you my thoughts. Yeah. But I didn't ask for that as a fan. And which is why moving forward, I don't know if I'll be watching the post show. I might be catching the clips because no. So that being said, I mean, overall, we've all discussed it. We said it was kind of fun to watch. And I definitely think I didn't hate it. I also, majority of it was actually a lot of fun, but I'm not going to watch some of these matches.
Okay, so if you had to rate it, what you gonna rate it? The whole pay-per-view.
PLE?
Yep.
I would give it a B+.
Oh?
I would give it a B+. It could have gotten an A in a couple areas if we had shortened that Gunther Pat McAfee match, and if we could clean up the John Cena and Randy Orton shenanigans. A little. Like, I understand who had to win, but could we have really thought of another way to get us there? Maybe not. Maybe there was really no easy way to do it, or no way that anyone liked it. So I don't have the pen, so I'm not gonna say that I have another way for you to get there. I just wondered if there is another way. So I think a B plus. That's what I think. It definitely was something enjoyable. It definitely, coming off of WrestleMania, it's a hard to follow thing. It always is. But I usually like having Backlash, and I think I liked it this time. There's a couple things I would have changed.
I agree.
So what about you? I still think, what would you grade it, the whole thing?
I agree. B plus.
B plus? Yeah. I feel like we could do a little bit better.
I mean, it definitely was better than night 2 of WrestleMania, but
But that was 2 nights, so that would have been like, that's a little harder.
No, I said night 2. I said it's better than night 2. Definitely better than night 2, because I think I said a C or a C minus or a D. You did.
So you did give it a non-passing grade. So yes.
So this is
all right. Well, what do you want next? Like, if you had the pen, what do you think is coming next? Because we definitely have Money in the Bank coming up, and we definitely have a Saturday night main event coming up, and we talked about that briefly already. But what do you think is next? What do you think that we have to look forward to?
Well, unfortunately, we have to look forward to Jay and Logan Paul.
I'm not looking forward to that.
I definitely ain't looking forward to Jay trying to figure her way into a title match. I'm not looking forward to that. So if I had the pen, I would somehow kindly write her into NXT. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's room, because that's what I'm saying.
There's room. There's people leaving, so she can trick her way down. Don't think of it as a downgrade. Just think of it as an improvement. I definitely would somehow get Naomi in the championship match, because I don't think Nia should get it. I mean, I get it, technically, the rematch clause, but she should have got that automatically. I don't think she should have gotten it as a contender spot. I think that should have just been there. And then had it, someone else has a contendership after whoever wins that match. Then that made sense. I don't think they did that correctly. So I would probably try to figure out how to get Naomi in there. I also would actually try to get the Street Profits. Not on Saturday. I don't think they should be on Saturday night's main event. Okay. I think they should be at a pay-per-view. I think they are at that caliber that they should be. And I think they should get a rematch, even though that match was really good on SmackDown. But they were injured.
With Fraxium?
Yes. They were injured, and you can tell after that match they were more injured.
Yeah.
So I think they should get a chance to actually put their titles online and get retribution, because now they're healthy. So that's why I'm saying by Money in the Bank, I think they should probably be healed enough. Maybe. Who else?
I definitely Money in Bank's a little while from now. So we got 2 weeks, Saturday night main event, Monday, and then about 2 weeks before.
So 4 weeks, right? Yeah. So I think I would love to see that at Money in the Bank. I also think I would love to see them finally turn Finn on Dom.
Immediately.
I think that should be something. Yeah, I think that should actually be happening. And I would love for when Liv and Raquel come back, lose the titles. I think that's, I can go on, but I definitely think they should lose the title, but I don't know who they should lose the title to, because we don't have no good female tag team. So that's the other issue. I don't know where you want to lose that to, but
yeah, that takes us back to the original problem of what women's tag teams. I mean, we don't have any. They just fired the only official ones.
Remember, I said Alexa Bliss and Zelina, they were really good, so they could be a cute little tag team, because their match was really good on SmackDown, like how they feed off each other and how they were doing certain things. I think that could be a good tag team if you're going to try to pin somebody together, but I don't know. But I definitely think Charlotte should be at the back of the line too. So
you said Charlotte should be in the back of the line?
Absolutely. She don't get no. Just because your father's Ric Flair don't mean nothing. I'm sorry. You need to work your way back.
I mean,
I think you should. I think the fact that you were gone for a certain, and I think only reason I'm saying I think you should is because we all thought you was going to win, because that's normally what happens. You get injured or whatever, you come back and you win, and you didn't. And it also showed how I don't think mentally you were ready to be in that space, because you were so concerned. Yes, that match was good, but you still was concerned about injuring yourself, which I understand, because that's where you injured yourself while you were working. So you're going to come right. So I think you should have multiple matches to prove yourself to yourself, and prove yourself again to us, because them booing her too was like, oh, y'all booing her. Why y'all booing her? Oh, that's bad. Like I remember hearing people boo here and there, but it was like, y'all are all booing her? That's kind of mean, y'all. And I think she really needs to. So maybe she should go for a tag team title run with somebody. Maybe her and Alexa Bliss. Somebody. Like, I think she needs to get away from the women's championship. I think she needs to try to focus on something else and actually get herself back in there. That would I would work on that too, somewhere in between. I don't think she should win Money in the Bank. But anyway, I digress. You only asked me one question.
Well, you really went through the gamut. I don't disagree. I think I agree with pretty much everything you said. I would like to see Charlotte go after one of the mid-card titles. I think it continues to build her as, the queen and her legacy, and it collects more, I don't want to say trinkets, but more awards and more, accolades for her if she goes that route. I think we need to build a tag team division. Mm-hmm. I think we need to, there's a lot of women. And here's the thing. I keep saying this, but they let go of a lot of people. They have kind of teased bringing up Roxanne's and the Julias and eventually the Stephanies, because I have a feeling that's what I think we have to look forward to, is that she might be losing her title at whatever the next Stand and Deliver, I think, which is the next NXT show. Miss Parker. Miss Parker, maybe I might like that. And bring her up full time, but I still think we still have the same problem. Where are the tag teams? We need them, or else we don't need a tag team title. And I don't want that to go away, because I think it should exist in theory.
They need this, like, if they're doing all this developmental, and not to cut you off, but doing all this developmental, and they got all these different shows showing how they're showing us developmentals. Well, then developmental some tag teams.
Exactly.
Like, start them, if we're starting them from babies, we'll start creating the tag team saying, I think you two y'all have good chemistry together, so we're going to put y'all together. At some point, y'all will probably break off as singles, but we need y'all together right now. And start building it from there. Because if you start building it from there, then by the time they get up to NXT, by the time they get to Raw, you will have built your tag team division female-wise, which is crazy. Which is crazy, because you guys had that many moons ago. You had a tag team division, and y'all didn't have a title because, I don't know, I guess y'all thought that wasn't the right thing to do, because you should have did it then, because then people would want to now not always try to go for singles. They'd be like, no, I'm gonna be the tag. I want to be the best tag team there were ever. It's not just for the guys, because girls, we are amazing, especially the talent that they do have. They're amazing, but they need to stop trying to put one amazing person with another amazing person who've been doing amazing by themselves. You put them together, because then what ends up happening, you guys end up finding a way to break them up, because Naomi and Bianca were amazing.
They were.
I guess Bianca and Jade were okay.
Jade? Did I hear Jade?
I said okay. I didn't say it was spectacular. My voice went but you had even I feel like Chelsea and Piper, they were a good tag team, and then also you added a third person, and it was like, well, yeah, the third person, I get it,
because
she was supposed to be Secret Service, and she's the thing, but then, girls, y'all
Secret Service or something like that.
Whatever, you were supposed to be the president, and you were this, and you were
that was
the president.
Funny.
And girl, you ain't even from the U.S., so there's no way you could be the president.
But Chelsea has been worth her money. I just want to say that.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying is when they started creating tag teams, you had amazing people, and they were doing so much. And then because you see how good they're doing, then you're like, you find a way, now we're going to break y'all up. Or we're going to make you to where you're not actually fighting together anymore. So now one person's higher than the other person. Stop doing that to women. Yeah. That's what I'm going to say. Stop doing that to women. Because we already have enough to go through to have us constantly keep pinning ourselves against each other after you make us best friends. And then it's like, well, now I need you to be jealous over here. Now, granted, this goes back to why there's other things that women fight over or beef over. However, if you're trying to create the division, you can't start creating the division and go, oh, wait, I got an idea now. Now I got to break you up. That's stupid, because then this is what ends up happening. Now we have Liv and Raquel, who are both off.
Yeah, I don't know why they're both off TV.
When that was happening when that was happening with Bianca, granted, I get it was a storyline, but when it was happening with Bianca, she had to get somebody or she was going to lose the titles. That should have been the same thing for Raquel. And like, okay, you want to go do your movie, that's no problem, but you have to relinquish this so we can actually have people who are going to be here who actually wants to focus on being here, not just trying to brand themselves out. All right, I'm off my soapbox. I'm done.
No, I appreciate your soapbox, and I want to dig into that a little bit. I think that sometimes, even let's go back in time a little bit, right? Shawn Michaels was part of a tag team. The Rockers were awesome. And when he branched out on his own, he was awesome. So I think that a tag team can be your path to single success.
Absolutely.
But I also think you got to be in it. You got to be in it for a while to grow. Because we've been saying this about the Street Profits, right? Like, we love them. We love Montez because he's a character all by himself. And I think he was ready for singles and has been ready for singles. But I also kind of love him with Dawkins. There's just something about their chemistry that works. And I think that people forget that your path forward can be a tag team. Especially like you said, as we're building these babies and developmental, there's a lot of people on NXT who could do better together than apart. Okay? There's quite a few of them who could do better together than separately. Which is why there used to be an NXT women's tag team championship. But then that went away because they decided that the women's was the one that we have, the main roster one was going to travel. But
it hasn't been traveling.
That and the fact that we don't have any tag teams. So that's our continued gripe. I think it's a shared emotion, and I agree with you. Do better. Do better. Well, that was our wrap up of Backlash. So it was great chatting with y'all today. We've been seeing all your support. This is your opportunity to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to not miss any of our new content. As a reminder, we have social across the board on TikTok, on Facebook /Meta, on X, and on Instagram. So there's exclusive content at different ones. So you're just going to have to follow us and make sure you're all in the loop. So we want to say, we're not new to this.
We're true to this.
And this was Main Event Mamas.